Okay, so our Creator, Yahweh above, the one in which I am His incarnation on earth, led me to a scripture, and it made me realize that He confirmed that I would be in a physical form when I finally come. So, in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, it is a poem that Yahweh had Musa, transcribe in order that we would know what is to come. Now, in this chapter 32, if you go to verse 40, chapter 32, verse 40, it says, "Lo, I will raise my hand to the heaven and say, as I live forever, when I whet my flashing blade and my hand lays hold on judgment, vengeance will I wreak on my foes. Will I deal to those who reject me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, my swords devour flesh, blood of the slain and the captive, from the long-haired enemy chiefs. O nations, acclaim his people, for he'll avenge the blood of his servants, wreak vengeance on his foes, and cleanse the land of his people." So that was the end of the poem. It ended at 43. But the reason I brought that there, the reason he led me there, is because he's trying to awaken me to the fact of who I actually am. Because although I am Michael, the right arm of God, on earth I am Yahweh incarnate. It's the reality. I am his vessel on earth. I am Michael, but we are one. That's the whole significance behind this so-called Trinity, which is really 4 in 1, spread out to 2. That's what it is. So, I keep getting into discussions with some people who lack excuse me, that word wasn't right, comprehension. People who see things through their own mind's eye and not through Yahweh's. The reality is I am the incarnation of Yahweh on earth. I am Michael, the great prince, redeemer of the scattered clans and tribes, king of all of the earth. I am Yahweh's vessel, his right arm here on earth. That's why it says, I will raise my hand to the heaven. It doesn't say I will send my hand down. It said I will raise my hand, because I am the body of Yahweh on earth. I am the incarnation on earth of Yahweh. I am his right arm. So when I raise my hand to him above, it's a connection. So anyhow, 32 chapter of Deuteronomy is a poem given by Yahweh to let the people know the future. Give ear, O heavens, let me speak. Let the earth hear the words that I utter. May my discourse come down as the rain, my speech distill as the dew, like showers on young growth, like droplets on the grass. For the name of the Lord I proclaim. Give glory to our God. The rock, his deeds are perfect. Yea, all his ways are just. A faithful God, never false. True and upright is he. Children unworthy of him. That crooked, perverse generation, their baseness has played him false. Do you thus requite the Lord, O dull and witless people? Is not he the Father who created you? and fashioned you and made you endure? Remember the days of old, consider the years of ages past. Ask your father, and he will inform you. Your elders, they will tell you, when the Most High gave nations their homes and set the divisions of man, he fixed the boundaries of peoples in relation to Israel's numbers. For the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob his own allotment. He found him in the desert region, in an empty, howling waste. He engirded him, watched over him, guarded him as the pupil of his eye, like an eagle who rouses his nestlings, gliding down to his young. So did he spread his wings and take him, bear him along on his pinions. The Lord alone did guide him, no alien God at his side. He set him atop the highlands to feast on the yield of the earth. He fed him honey from the crag and oil from the flinty rock, curd of kine and milk of flocks, with the best of lambs and rams of Bashan, and he-goats with the very finest wheat, and foaming grape blood was your drink. So Jeshurun grew fat and kicked. You grew fat and gross, coarse. He forsook the God who made him and spurned the rock of his support. They incensed him with alien things, vexed him with abominations. They sacrificed to demons, no gods, gods they have never known, new ones who came but lately, who stirred not your father's fears. You neglected the rock that begot you, forgot the God who brought you forth. The Lord saw and was vexed, and spurned his sons and his daughters. He said, I will hide my countenance from them and see how they fare in the end. Hide his countenance. 32, chapter 20. I will hide my countenance from them and see how they fare in the end. For they are a treacherous breed, children with no loyalty in them. They incensed me with no gods, vexed me with their futilities. I'll incense them with no folk, vex them with a nation of fools. For a fire has flared in my wrath and burned to the bottom of Sheol, has consumed the earth and its increase, eaten down to the base of the hills. I will sweep misfortunes on them, use up my arrows on them, wasting famine, ravaging plague, deadly pestilence, and fanged beasts will I let loose against them, with venomous creepers and dust. The sword shall deal death without, as shall the terror within, to youth and maiden alike, the suckling as well as the aged. I might have reduced them to naught, made their memory cease among men, but for the fear of the taunts of a foe, their enemies who might misjudge and say our own hand has prevailed, none of this was wrought by the Lord. For they are a folk void of sense, lacking in discernment. Were they wise, they would think upon this, gain insight into the future. The future. How could one have routed 1,000, or two put 10,000 to flight, unless their rock had sold them up? The Lord had given them up. For their rock is not like our rock, in our enemies' own estimation. The vine for them is from Sodom, from the vineyards of Gomorrah. The grapes for them are poison, a bitter growth their clusters. Their wine is the venom of asps, the pitiless poison of vipers. Lo, I have it all put away, sealed up in my storehouses, to be my vengeance and recompense at the time that their foot falters. Yea, their day of disaster is near, and destiny rushes upon them. So I'm going to go back to 32, verse 34. Lo, I have it all put away, sealed up in my storehouses, to be my vengeance and recompense. What does that mean? That means I have treasures and weaponry in my storehouses, waiting for me to go and collect when all of my enemies' foot falter, which is now. At the time that their foot falters, yea, their disaster, the day of their disaster is near, and destiny rushes upon them. For the Lord will vindicate his people and take vengeance for his servants when he sees that their might is gone, and just know that I am the Lord. And neither bond nor free is left. He will say, where are their gods? The rock in whom they sought refuge, who ate the fat of their offerings and drank their libation wine. Let them rise up to your help, and let them be a shield unto you. See then that I, Michael, am he. There is no God beside me. I deal death and I give life. I wounded and I will heal. None can deliver from my hand. Lo, I will raise my hand to the heaven and say, as I live forever, when I whet my flashing blade and my hand lays hold on judgment, vengeance will I wreak on my foes. Will I deal to those who reject me? I will make my arrows drunk with blood, as my sword devours flesh. Blood of the slain and the captive, from the long-haired enemy chiefs. Now, what does it mean, this long-haired enemy chiefs? Who are the long-haired enemy chiefs? I know, but do you? You know who you are? Of course, the ones who I'm speaking to do. But what about everybody else? You just don't have a clue. O nations, acclaim his people, for he'll avenge the blood of his servants, wreak vengeance on his foes, and cleanse the land of his people. So, that description explains the duality of Yahweh, above and right here. Comprende?